Why do your members want to go on strike?
Well, they don't want to go on strike. They feel that they've been put into a position where that is a course we have to take, because the companies are planning thousands of job cuts, which we believe threatens the safety regimes on our railway. They are seeking to dilute and transform our working conditions and working practices. And we haven't had a pay rise now going into the third year, the third anniversary. So they're feeling that cost of living crisis like every other worker in this country. And it's our job to get them a deal from the companies that we think they can afford. And we think our members deserve, having kept the railway system going during the past 2 years when they all had, of course, had to work on the front line delivering those services.
We're hearing from the government this morning on this programme considering legislating to ensure minimum staffing levels in the event of a strike. When I put that to the minister, he said he wasn't ruling anything out, and it was certainly in the Conservative manifesto.
Well, the Conservatives have got a habit of suppressing civil liberties and the right to resist. We've got the Public Order Bill going through, which seeks to clamp down on the right to protest even. It's a civil liberty and a democratic right to withdraw your labour in this country. It's established going back to the toll puddle martyrs and the Chartists and through the suffrage movement and the trade union movement over the last 200 years. We will maintain that and fight for our right to withdraw our action and act independently of the government. They want a cowed trade union movement because they want to preserve big profits through driving down wages and conditions of workers right across our economy.
What about those workers who are commuters, who are desperate to get to work? They can't afford to drive because of fuel costs at the moment, and businesses in major cities that rely on trains to bring people into those cities.
Well, we want all of those businesses to prosper. We want commuters to get a fair deal off the railway because they're being ripped off as well. Last year, the railway companies took out at least £500 million of profit from the railway. And that was in a time where fares were low and passenger usage was low because of the COVID lockdowns and the instructions to work from home and so on. So people are making vast and exorbitant profits. The chief executives and the directors of railway companies are on enormous salaries in this country, hundreds of thousands of pounds, up to £500,000 per year. So there isn't enough money in the railway industry to pay for our members to have a reasonable pay deal and indeed to have a low level of fares. And countries right across Europe, in Ireland, France and Germany, are actually cutting their fares to bring back the travellership so that the service into the cities and to our towns and villages can be restored and so that the economy can prosper. We want to be part of that, but of course railway workers need to be there to ensure a safe and comfortable service and to ensure that passengers get the right assistance. But we need to be paid properly as well.
24-hour walkout on the London Underground as well. TfL say that you are trying to spoil and disrupt the Jubilee weekend, are you?
No, I mean, there's a strike that's coming up amongst station staff. That's not over the Jubilee weekend. And this dispute that we're talking about now on the National Railway will not be over the Jubilee weekend. There's a small dispute at a cluster of stations in central London, which is less than 80 of our members. We're seeking to resolve that dispute this week. And hopefully we can do that if the company comes up with a reasonable position.
So you're suggesting that that strike that is, I think, the day after the Jubilee weekend celebrations, that might not go ahead?
Well, that one may go ahead because there is not an agreement. They're looking to slash 600 jobs and again rip up our conditions of our members. They're also looking to clamp down on the pensions and remove the value of that. So there are 4,000 people involved in that dispute on the Monday after the holiday, but that won't interfere with those celebrations. That dispute is not planned for that period.
Good to talk to you. Thanks for joining us on the programme.